one of the largest regions in the Aviva network that you guys manage with, all the mergers and acquisitions going on today. So we're excited to have you guys here to talk about kind of your input on the business, what you're seeing in the market. But with that being said, how do SMBs approach OT differently compared to large enterprise customers?
Almost treated as a luxury, I think, is what I see out there versus a necessity. It's slowly starting to change. They understand. I think the small businesses understand that they need security, but they don't have the manpower to really layer it and roll it out completely. So it almost turns into a good enough approach at that small and medium business size, where it's just like, okay, we've kind of almost got that checkbox, and let's not talk about it. And we've got it there, we got it in place. We don't know if it covers everything, but we got the checkbox, so we're good. Let's move on to something else. So
yeah, and I think that's what a lot of us are experiencing. But with that being said, do you think the awareness of OT security is improving in those mid-market organizations?
Very much. So we are. It is a part of every conversation. I don't know if they don't know what to do with that data, or what to do, or how to approach it yet. And then two is, again, I should say it, but that they more and more companies want to go hands off. Tell us what we need, handle it for us, take it, deal with it, almost like an MSP style approach, or looking for an MSP style approach. But it is a part of every single conversation, which is very different than just a couple years ago.
Yeah. And I understand how Q-MATION is the strategy and the go-to-market. You guys also have a consulting arm within your business, right? Do SMBs prefer packaged solutions or custom consulting for OT to drive OT adoption?
Configurable package solution. I don't get a lot of pushback or a lot of questions as to how customized it is towards them, as long as it works and as long as it meets their needs. Right. So they're all for a package solution. They're all for a SaaS solution. Seeing a lot of that now is allowing or opening ports to the outside world to allow some of this cloud integration happening, especially at the small and medium business size. I've seen larger enterprises start pulling back and bringing stuff in-house, and small businesses we don't have the manpower to touch it, right. Push it up, get it off-prem.
Right.
So,
we work together on a lot of, you're involved with a lot of these opportunities that we're rolling out and successes that we've had within Q-MATION. But is there any specific customer story that has recently stood out to you?
Yeah. There's, without going specific of the name of the company, but was about a year and a half ago. There was a client that had a rollout. So single plant of a very large enterprise. So approach it almost like a small business. They're using it as a satellite or a lighthouse project to see how OctaPlant will go and how it integrates and how they can adopt it into their plant. And the rollout, let's just be honest, it went terrible. A lot of lack of support for devices, a lot of misinformation, from all different angles and things like that. And I got involved when it was really going south. The salesperson was in the middle of retiring, so there was a lot of gaps from both sides, the client and ours. But I got involved and immediately got involved with, got in touch with you, got in touch with Luke, and we kind of developed the plan and figured it was Riley. Can't say enough about Riley. But yeah, immediately got involved, developed a plan, just open, good, honest communication. We can come to you guys and just be like, hey, look, this needs help. This is not good, or this is great, and be able to have that honest conversation. And then immediately AMDT's leadership, Alex, and at that time Will got involved and was able to push forth and push through some of the development and update cycle issues or challenges that we had in there. And it went from, basically they're ready to throw us out of the plant to now there's a couple different discussions. There's a global discussion happening that's looking at a global rollout for multiple plants on one side. And then a more So the North America piece of that wasn't involved in the global piece, but so now we've got almost two different congruent projects basically working at the same time and communicating across both of those channels and just keeping each other in touch and working together, even though it's still a little bit of a slightly different path. But it's just that, like, I guess my point of that is it's the communication piece has just been awesome from day one and continued through with AMDT. It's been really impressive.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, thanks, Steve. And I think, one of the biggest value adds for our partner network is the relationships that you guys all have within the market, right? So when there are challenges that come up, to be able to, get the meeting with the right people and have that honest communication, transparency, it goes a long way in building that plan. So again, thank you for your effort and Q-MATION's effort within doing that. How do you see the OT market for SMBs evolving over the next 5 years?
Definitely going to be more adoption in the OT security space. They're looking for answers. They're looking for solutions. Want a single pane solution. There's so much from a congruent software standpoint. There's so much redundancy in processes and pieces of software where you got 10 pieces of software that do the same exact thing or provide the same function. And that's fortunately where AMDT and Octoplant is great, because there isn't anything else out there like it, right? So, but being able to bring in all those different communication pieces together and have that single pane of glass for the client, that's going to be huge. And then two is they're offloading that manpower, right? It's more and more and more going on to the controls engineers, their developers, their controls engineers, their electrical engineers. Now they're getting and playing in IT spaces, they're playing in OT spaces, and they're tapping out. I'm hearing it more and more. So offloading that to, again, yeah, so some outside source provider to say, here, just you guys handle it, you guys handle the operations, tell me when there's an emergency and what we need to do. Sure. And yeah.
Absolutely. No, that makes total sense. And what role does, Octoplant, how does Octoplant help enable Q-MATION to serve SMBs more effectively in the market?
It's just building that stronger relationship with them, is being able to come in and have solutions for them, right? So we can keep them in-house, we can keep them in touch. So like you mentioned, we're a very large Aviva distributor. Kind of go back and forth every year if we're the largest or not, but the more we can keep them in-house, the more we can keep them in kind of, I don't want to say control, but basically control those conversations and be a part of those conversations. We can provide better solutions holistically for them. We can give them all the different pieces, or know who to bring in and who we can trust with inside of those partnerships if it's something we can't handle for them. So that's where it's key. It's keeping us a part of those conversations and keeping us involved, and that drives other sectors of the business. And then it's reciprocal, right? Those other pieces are more involved in the Aviva piece. Where, hey, by the way, we can do the cybersecurity piece. What are you guys doing for it? And so yeah, again, it's just keeping us in the conversation all the way across the board.
Sure, absolutely. And what's the main challenge in making AMDT's solution accessible for these smaller companies?
There's two pieces. One is the financial piece. They look at it on paper, and when it becomes just that strict on paper business decision, we start getting into some hurdles. So it's trying to build that value for them and trying to find out where those hot topics are for them, what's important to them, and what's driving even some of the discussions. And then the other challenge, right, is that's where the relationship comes into, it becomes so important, is you may have a single person making that entire decision for the entire plant, whether it's the business owner, COO, or even possibly just a single electrical engineer or controls engineer making that. And so that's where it's like it's you need to have that relationship with that one person to really just, again, it's, I don't want to say it's 50-50 sometimes, but it's literally just, yeah, I mean, it feels like that, where if one wrong word with that one person, it changes, ruin everything. Absolutely. Where at larger enterprises, it's just at scale. All of a sudden you you can win 4 out of the 5 people in the room, you can still get a decision done where.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
there's challenges with both, right?
right?
So,
Oh, yeah. It's
and
all
they're-
at scale, right?
They're more
Yeah.
unique and different, right? Lastly, Steve, what motivates you most working with SMB clients?
When you get done with the project and it works. A lot of times you don't get the praise, you don't get the recognition, you don't get, the big elaborate dinners or things like that with the client after the fact. It's when you come back in a month after the project's rolled out and it's working, and all of a sudden you just see everybody using it and it's just going. It's become a part of their culture, and nobody even mentions it. Right. And it's like, all right, we got this. We did well, and it's. And again, right? It's you can see it, and then you're part of that company's growth. You enable them to concentrate on business versus operations, or focus on IT. That's where it's really cool for me, is coming back in and just going, oh yeah, hey, you're using that, huh? How's that going? Yeah. Oh yeah, it's fine. And they don't even realize, right? It's
all the work that's went
cool.
into it to make it successful, right?
Yeah.
No, that's great, and we're super excited for the growth within our region. And thank you so much for being here and providing your insight today.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Yep.